Good afternoon, happy May Day, and welcome to the May update. So we can find out what's been happening on site. You can see here that the roof is now going on to H9, onto the wagon repair shed. And we've got some lovely recycled slates ready to go on that roof. So that should start to happen in the next week or so. That means we can then start the fit out of this building, which will be great. We're at the back of the Training and Research Centre here, and finally we've got the concrete pad in, which means where I'm standing and along there, we'll be able to put the big pallet rack, which means when we have deliveries, we'll be able to put them straight on the rack instead of leaving them in the top yard. And here we have the first of the air source heat pumps. So this is the one that's going to serve this building. And they're just in the process of doing all the clever plumbing and electrics to get it connected up. So we're in the Research and Training Centre, and we're very pleased to have got the timeline wallpaper put on. That's all one length of paper, if you would believe it. This space is now nearly ready for handover. At the very end here, you can see the shelves which we'll be able to use for displaying things. The cupboards are hiding all the kit that's essential to running the place. We hope to have our hands on this space within the next week or so. Here we are in the control office. Well, actually, I'm standing just outside it. This is the counter that will have a fold-back partition on it, with control being under control on the other side of it. And there will be a half-door, stable door here that we can fold back and open to keep them happy, which is great. And then we've got our cupboard and our kitchenette here. We're above the control office now in a tiny little meeting room. And the original plan on the drawings, it actually showed an alcove here that went all the way down. So we were going to put the distribution board up here, which is why we've got this nest of cables. And then underneath it, a data cabinet with the UPS that's necessary to keep control running. So it had to be floor mounted or mounted on something very strong. We realised that that alcove isn't there, and whilst it's only made up stuff behind here, it's quite risky taking this down and creating an alcove. So actually, after a lot of consultation with IT and with the people who are doing all this lovely wiring, so blue cables, all the data cables, we've found a new location for the data cabinet and UPS, which we'll show you in a moment. So imagine a door here and a wall here, but a wall with a door in it, because over here will be the new space for both the data cabinet and the UPS, which means IT will have much better access. It's just a little bit of rerouting of the cabling, but actually it's not too complicated. So we think we've come up with a much better solution. You're always having to problem solve when you're doing projects like this. We're upstairs now in cottage 1, so this is a sitting room with a little kitchenette at the end, and you can see here we've got the finished plaster. This is all lime plaster, and it's been very nicely done to go with the same shape as the stonework rather than straightened up. So I think that's great because it gives it lots of character. So that means once this is done, we can start the second fix on all the electrics. I'm standing in the new mess room. I'm afraid it's a bit dark because we've protected all the windows at the moment. But as you can see, as we work around, we're now getting on with lime rendering the walls, which is brilliant. Obviously, this isn't the top coat because it's really rough at the moment, which means it's a horribly messy job. So the floor is covered with lime, but it will all get tidied up. I'm standing on the screed, so the underfloor heating is under here. That's gone in the last month. And I'm hoping you can just see the blue lines on the floor. That's where the partitions are going. So on that side is the ladies' toilets and changing room. And then there's some locker space right over in the corner by the back door. But all this area becomes the new den. So this doesn't look like it now, but it's going to be a big double door. So when people are coming for a drink, they'll come through here, they'll wash their hands here, and then go through into the mess room there. And then what we've got here is a disabled toilet and shower. And then through this door, which doesn't quite exist yet, we are now into the gents, both locker space, a little bit of locker space, shower, toilets here as well. So you can really begin to see how the space is going to work. And we have actually now finished slating this roof and the new extension that we've put on. Now I'm standing in the electrician's workshop. What you're seeing here is all the pipe work for the air source heat pump. Obviously that will all be insulated, and the idea is we'll have benches all the way along and then storage in this back bit and a sink over there. But this is coming on, and directly above it in this part is all the plant room for this building, and then in this part is a store for small electrical parts upstairs that you'll actually get to by going up a metal staircase on the outside. This is the other half of the electrician's workshop, which, as you'll be able to see as John slowly pans up, is actually full height, because we realise some of the electrician's workshop, the ceiling's quite low. By making this part full height, they can have the benefit of the window, which is one of our reclaimed windows. And this is the iron foundry. And what we've got here is a deck, so the guys can take out the original suspended ceiling, so eventually it will actually be open to the rafters. We'll show you that in a minute. And this is Paul has been doing an amazing job sorting out all the storage in here, so there's an awful lot less in here than there used to be, and the idea is that this actually becomes quite a big locker space on the whole, with a small amount of storage in it. Here we can show you what's going on in the roof space of the iron foundry. You can see by taking out the false ceiling, we're able to expose all these rather lovely rafters. And now that what the guys are in the process of doing is they've been insulating the new roof, and now they're plasterboarding it. And finally, for this month, you can just see that the first of the sheeting is going on this elevation of the extension to what's going to be the new den and electrician's workshop. It's great now because it means we've closed off all the roofs, which means we can really get on with internal fit out. So real progress is being made. Inevitably, it's still taking longer than we expected, but it is all happening and it's all good. See you next month.